little bit about your job here at the Leadership Initiative. Let's talk about what you're doing here for me right now. And I began to break down the organizational chart for her. Boom. Began to break down the organizational chart, talking about where she fit currently in the organizational chart, and then how she can begin to move up in the organizational chart into different levels of responsibility and learning different skills and growing in talent. And all of a sudden, she's beginning to make the connection. Oh, wow. So the things I need over here to get where I want to get, I can actually learn them here in this company? Exactly. In fact, we can move you here, and as we get into month 5 and month 6, how about if we start doing this? And we begin to talk about the strategic plan of not only the responsibility roles that she could take, but also, hey, how's that going to change her money situation? And before long, she's all jazzed. She's all excited about moving forward. I've done the same thing with Sean, our other employee at the Leadership Initiative, or another employee at the Leadership Initiative, showing them the strategic plan and how it meets their practical needs, because it starts out with, where do you want to go? I've had other companies in other situations where I've talked about, where do you want to go? And they say, oh, I want to go here, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's like, okay, I don't know how my company can help you get there. So I didn't have anything to invite with. I didn't have anything to inspire them with, because where they were wanting to go, my company couldn't help them get there. And so I just knew that there was going to be a off-ramp for them rather soon. They were going to come in, do some work, but then they were going to be able to move on, because my company wasn't going to be able to help them get where they wanted to get. Does that make sense? So for you as a business leader, for you as a manager, running an organization, being in charge of a group at school, being in charge of just having a leadership position, have you had the conversations with the people that you're leading to determine where do they want to get? What is their goal? What is their vision? Because if we don't have this, then you don't have the three-legged stool of leadership. All you have is two. Have you ever tried to sit on a two-legged stool? All right, it's a little wobbly. It can be a lot of work, but if you can add the third leg, discovering where they want to go, their vision, that will really bring things into stability. It will give you the strength and the support to be able to invite. Because what you're doing is you are inviting them into their future using your vehicle. My vehicle can move you forward. It may not get you all the way there. Working in my company is not going to get Kendall onto the Game of Thrones, okay? But it will help her gain tools that she will need along the way to get where she wants to get. Let's see here. Moving on. I love this right here, okay? Catch this. I've spent so much time in the nonprofit sector that we did a lot of fundraising. Catch this. This is really important here. That people will donate, okay? People will donate to a vision because it's emotional. So you can get people to donate their time, their talent, their resources, their money. They will donate to a vision. But catch this, they will invest in a plan. Guys, that's important. People will donate a one-time thing. They will give you money. They will give you their time. They will come and volunteer a one-time thing. They will donate to a vision. But people invest in a plan. If you want that over and over and over and over again, if you want people to give you their time, their talent, their treasure, over and over and over again, then there has to be a strategic plan. This is how you invite. So I want to walk through 10 steps. I've done some erasing here. I want to walk through 10 steps on the actual way that you begin to invite somebody, okay? We've talked a little bit about this all the way back in the team building section of Winning in the Workplace, but I want to revisit this because there's a real art to inviting. Leadership, as you know, leadership is an art. You can learn about it. You can go and get the practical black and white steps, but there's a real art to do it, to being really good at it. That's why I just strongly encourage you, spend time with some volunteers. You want to get good at leadership, spend some time actually getting volunteers to accomplish things, all right? Over a period of time. Not just a one-time deal, but over a period of time. Getting volunteers to accomplish. That is a wonderful furnace. It's a great forge for leadership. Because again, you have no leverage. All you have with volunteers is invite. All you have with volunteers is inspire. Because there is no leverage, there's no money, there's nothing that you can take away from them to make them do it. All right? So here we go. Here are the 10 steps to invite somebody. And it begins here with number 1. Step number 1, steps, we're going to say 10 steps to invitation. Ta-da! 10 steps to invitation. Number 1, it starts out with your vision. Remember, this sucker's got to be clear. It's got to be compelling. So anybody that hears it, it can stir their heart and it causes them to move forward. So there has to be, number 1, there has to be clarity of your vision. Next of all, there needs to be clarity of their vision. So this conversation has to happen. We've talked about this as leaders. Remember, when it comes to the vision, when it comes to the purpose, when it comes to the vision, mission, and core values of your company, as a leader, we have to say it. It's got to come out of your mouth. But you also remember we have to write it down, number 2. And then number 3, you actually have to have pictures of it. What does it look like when this thing actually gets accomplished, when this thing actually gets done? And then finally, and this can be the most difficult part of leadership, is you have to model it every single day. You have to model that vision. You have to model those core values every single day if you want to invite people into it. So again, your vision, number 1. Number 2, their vision. You have to have clarity of what their vision is. And then you have to get to a point where you are able to determine and able to say, I can help you. Okay? And you got to be sincere on this. Your company, your vision, your purpose, your mission, your organization, your team actually has to be able to help them. You don't want to lie to them, or all of a sudden they'll start figuring out, wait a minute, I see you getting a lot of benefit out of this, but I don't really see how it's benefiting me. All right? Because they're going to have those questions already. You've got to constantly be able to come back and go, let me show you how this is benefiting you. Remember we talked about where you wanted to go? Remember we talked about for you to get there, you're going to have these different things in place? This is helping you get there, to get those things in place. So this phrase right here, have you had that phrase? Because where managers go, they don't say, I can help you. They say, you need to help me. That's the mindset of a manager. It's not bad. It's not wrong. It's the way we need to think as managers. But as a leader, we have to shift that thing around and say, I can help you. This is all part of that inspiration and invitation. So, step number 4, ask this question. What do you think you need? To accomplish their vision, to accomplish their purpose, you need to ask them, what do you think you need? And as they begin to talk, write that sucker down. Let them see you write it down. If you can put it up onto a whiteboard, that's even better. You get it up so they can see it. So you're saying you think you need this, you think you need this, cool, anything else you're thinking? And this is a great time for you to begin to interject things. Do you think you'd need this? You know, to get where you want to go, do you think this is going to be important for you? Because chances are good they're going to leave some things out. And chances are very good that you know how your company functions, and so you know what you're going to try to accomplish with that person. So do you think you're also going to need this piece, knowledge, okay? Do you think you're going to need to know this information? Do you think you're going to need to have these experiences? You know, do you think you're going to need to know how you're doing evaluation on these different pieces? Well, yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought of that. So you write it on the board. What do you think you're going to need? All right. And then here we go. Step number 5. This is where you actually show them the plan. This is how my company or my team or my organization or my group or my department, all right, whatever you want to say there, this is how my company can help. This is where you are actually beginning to show them the plan. You're no longer talking vision. Now you have gone to the how-to. You have gone to the strategic. Man, working on that. This is the how-to. You're showing them the strategic plan. If it's about growing in the company, growing in the organization, you show them the organizational chart. Here's the path that I could see that you could follow to get where you want to get. And then, once we have gone here, shown them the path, all right, now it's time to move to step number 6. Invite them. Sorry, I didn't know I was going to be singing. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to invite them to the plan. I don't want to invite them to the vision. I want to invite them to the plan. I want to inspire them with the vision, but then invite them to the plan. So, would you like to do this? So that's what we need to say. Would you like, would you be willing? That's a good one right there. Would you be willing to embrace, to follow, to accept, all right, whatever you want to say there, the plan? Guys, you have to ask them. You can't just assume, and you definitely can't force it. You definitely can't say, do this. They have to accept it. They have to say yes to it. So step number 6 is the invitation. And I promise you, if you have done this well, when you say this, it's obvious. They're going to go, well, of course. Yes, I want to do it. And they will jump on it really quick, like a dog on a bone, okay, as my dad would say. They will say yes really quickly. And this is where you want to step in and say this. This language is really important to say right here. You need to say, wait, I haven't told you about. Remember talking about this in the team builder? I haven't talked to you about the cost, the trade-off, what they're going to have to do. Oh, yeah, I love to have all the great stuff you're talking about. Give me the good stuff. I love the good stuff. You know, I even say when I'm doing this in workshops, I even have everybody in the workshop do this. Kind of give that face. Kind of breathe in through your teeth. Do that if you want. Kind of practice it right here. Kind of do that thing. Kind of turn your head. It's a little bit, for me, my chin goes to the right. Top of the head goes to the left. Kind of got to squint the eye. Now, well, hold on. Hold on. I know hold on there, Sparky. I know you're excited to get to the accomplishment of your vision, but hold on. I haven't told you about the trade-off. I haven't told you about the difficulty. And if you have done a good job of casting the vision, if you have done a good job of discovering their vision and explaining to them how your company, how your group, how your team, how your department can get them to their vision, I promise you, the excitement, the energy, the emotion will get really high. And then when you come in and go, let me tell you about the struggle. Let me tell you about the trade-off. Let me tell you about what you're going to have to do to get there. You will find that they will still be willing to do it. Okay? So we're talking about here, you've got to communicate the trade-offs. This is what it's going to require. It's going to require you going through some things that aren't comfortable, you going through some things that are hard, you going through some things that you thought you were really good at, but then you find you suck at, all right? It's going to go through you putting in more hours. It's going to go through you, whatever the thing is. If you're trying to lose weight, you're going to have to go through eating some things you may not want to eat and not eating some things you really do want to eat. It's going to require putting in some time. It's going to require putting in some effort. It's going to require maybe putting in some extra education. You may have to spend some of your own money. What? I'm not going to do it unless the company's going to pay for it. The trade-off, you know? So you communicate the trade-offs to them. And then step number 9, you ask them, you come back to the invitation. Now, do you want it? You guys, I have found 10 times out of 10, all right? Now again, there's always an exception that proves the rule, okay? But I mean 9.9, 10 times out of 10, people are gonna say, yes, I'm willing to do the trade-off to get what I wanna get. Because you as a leader have reached into their heart, discovering what they want. You have shown them a compelling vision. You have taught them or shown them a picture of a strategic plan on actually how to get what you want. And so when you begin to talk about trade-offs, people are going, yeah, man, sign me up. I'm still ready to do it. I can do this thing. You guys, I've been doing this for the last 30 years, knowing that things were going to be difficult, going all the way back to my years as a track coach, knowing that I was going to ask somebody to run the quarter, knowing that I was going to ask somebody to run the 800 or the mile, knowing that they were going to look at me and go, there's no way I can do that. I had to prepare them using their vision. Where do they want to get? This is so important right here. Knowing their vision, connecting your vision with their vision, getting people to do what you want them to do because they want to do it. Okay? And then finally, step number 10, there needs to be an acceptance. Have to accept and agree. There has to be this. So you are telling me that you are willing to accept the trade-off, that you are willing to go through the difficulty. Yes, I am. And then what I do, something that I've done for years and years and years, is I put up the big picture vision on a big piece of paper, and I have that person come up and sign it. They actually put their name on it. You guys, you've got to get them to own it. There is no ownership until they come up and put their name on it. So now when they go through difficult and they're going, this is hard, I don't like this, I don't want to do this anymore. You go, oh, okay, hold on. Let's just come over here. This is your name. Remember, we talked about the trade-offs. Don't give up. The trade-offs will get you where you want to go, I promise, if you'll just stick with it. Okay? So these are the 10 steps to actually how do I invite people? How do I get people to do what I want them to do because I want them to do it? You guys, this is so important as a leader. You cannot manage people through the trade-off. They'll leave. They'll find another job. I promise you there's another job that they will be happier with because they don't understand how to get through the trade-off because you haven't tapped into their vision. You haven't tapped into their ultimate purpose of where they want to go and shown them the compelling plan, okay? The strategic plan on how to get there. So this is session number 5 in our leadership level of winning in the workplace. Look forward to talking with you in session 6.